Howdy y'all, welcome to Nerd Studio. Okay, look at this. This is the CZ82 or VZ82, which my understanding is stands for the VZ is some Czechoslovakian word. It means model. So this is the Model 82 pistol that is used by many countries. This one in particular was made in Georgia. It wasn't made in Georgia, it was imported to Georgia. It was made in Czechoslovakia. You caught me. So, yeah, made in Czechoslovakia. It's an interesting pistol. It really probably produced somewhere in the 1980s. It is considered a CNR gun, a curio, by the U.S. government. So you can actually find one of these and ship it to your home. It shoots the Makarov 9x18 round, which is interesting. It's essentially a 9mm, although they typically, I think this one is like 95 grains. So it tends to run a little smaller than the 9x19 or 9mm Luger round. I don't think it has quite the punch. I might actually do a cheese can experiment with this one. I've heard you can actually find a defensive ammo for this, but I haven't seen any. For me, I bought this pistol because it was because it's interesting and it was cheap. When I got it, I think I paid $149 for it. I looked before making this video, and they're in the $250, $260 range, so it appears the price has gone up. You can shoot lots of steel ammo that's out there, made by, I think Wolf makes some, and you can get, you blink and time in with this at about 26 cents a round, and so that's compelling. To me, well, let's talk about the gun a little bit. So it's it's got a double stack magazine. This one gets 12 rounds in it. You can see it kind of reminiscent of the modern day firearm. It's an all steel frame, so it's heavy. The other interesting thing is it's a blowback design pistol, like a lot of 22s. So the barrel is mounted to the frame, and what I've noticed that actually seems to make it fairly accurate. It's an easy shooter from that perspective. It has actual 3-dot sights, which for a military firearm is pretty interesting. I guess the grips are interchangeable. I've heard of people using these for carry. To me, at least my example of this gun, it just wouldn't be something I'd carry. The magazine release is clunky. I almost, it's not, it drops free, but man, I don't have the hand strength to really mash it with my right thumb in the way I would every other pistol. It's also, it's hammer fired, so you've got the safety to think about. So, I mean, if you were really looking for an inexpensive gun for carry, concealed carry, there's better modern options. But it's got some interesting history to it, which I find fascinating. So the trigger on it is actually really nice. I don't know if you can hear the reset, but it's got a little audible reset there. So, not too bad. I shoot it fairly well. My one gripe with this gun wouldn't be really something that I'm going to go and plink all day at the range with. With the way my hands are built and the way this gun fires, it has a real sharp kick directly back. Now that's kind of nice for getting your follow-up shot, but it hurts my wrist over, I shot 50 rounds today, and that's about all I want to shoot out of it. But again, it's a it's a conversation piece for me, and from that perspective, it's really neat. Let me see if I can pull it apart. I don't really do that a lot with this gun, but it's interesting, and it comes apart fairly easily. So you basically yank down on the trigger guard, and then let's see, you come up and off like that, and that's pretty much it. It needs a good cleaning and some oil, but yeah, there you go. It's, the maintenance on it is fairly easy. Look at that gigantic recoil spring. That thing's huge. Show you inside of it. I mean, it looks like, it's a modern firearm. The other thing I find really interesting about it is the rifling is not lands and grooves. It's much like a Glock. It's polygonal. Polygonal. I think we'll go with polygonal. So when you look inside the barrel, it doesn't look like there's any rifling at all. You have to really angle it, and so it's the only gun I've got like that. I'm not a Glock guy, so I don't have a Glock that with that polygonal rifling. So that's another interesting point. And if you're into guns as a hobby, it makes a good conversation piece for that. So kind of fun to shoot. Not the greatest when you've got little doll hands like I do, but still I like to pull it out once in a while and fire away. The ammunition is actually fairly easy to find if you know how to do that on the internet. It's been a couple of years since I've seen it regularly on the shelf, but if you order it 1,000 rounds at a time, I can get it for about 25-26 cents with steel case. So if you're looking for something cheap to plink with and the recoil doesn't bother you, this might not actually be too bad. So that's pretty much it for the CZ82. Thanks for watching. If you like the videos, click subscribe. Come follow me on Facebook. I'll try not to run around and say things that are too annoying. But yeah, if you do the Facebook thing, come on. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.